So you hate your life and you don't know what to do. Where do you turn? How do you get to a better station in life? We're going to talk about it.
Oh, it's good. Good and terrible.
I love Brotha T.
How you doing? This is Terry Wilson, aka your boy Brotha T, here with another one. So I like to thank you and welcome to the New Life Tree, where we like to give you little pine cones of wisdom for your motivation and mental health. If you don't know what that is, stick around, stay on the channel, you'll get it. Remember, I don't know everything, but I might know a lot of things.
Talo. Sorry.
So today we're going to talk about how to get to that next stage of your life when you think it's all over with. When you don't think you have anywhere to turn. Sometimes in our life we get into a spot where we just, we just go through with life, and it's like we just go with it. We get so used to it, and our life becomes mundane. I'm looking for the right word. I guess that's it. Mundane. We keep doing the same things over and over again, and it becomes monotonous. That's a better word. It becomes monotonous. We go to work, we get off work, we do stuff at home, boom, and we go to sleep, boom, watch the game, boom. And we get into this thing where we really don't love our lives. We just don't love it. We don't love it. It's okay, but we don't love it. I want you to start loving life. Now, that's easier said than done. And you say, Brotha T, give me something to do. How? You have to find purpose. Now, I can't tell you what your purpose is. That's up for you to find out. But once you find your purpose, you need to live in that purpose no matter what. Now, you still have to go to work. You still have to pay bills. I'm not telling you to quit your job and go do some weird stuff. But if you have something on this earth that you know you are meant to do, then you need to start doing it. Find time. It's amazing to me as human beings how we always find excuses to not do things that we know in our heart we should be doing. You say, hey, you're good at that. You need to package that and give it to the world. People would say, well, I don't have time for that. Or, I'm doing this today and I'll start next week. And next month, as soon as this is over, I'm going to start that. But I'm telling you, you walk up to a person and say, hey, the job is going to give you a raise, but it's going to require you to work these extra hours, but you'll get this extra money. They'll find time to do that, won't they? They'll carve out time. They'll quit doing other stuff just to do that, because that is an incentive for them to do something. Well, I'm going to tell you to look at that the same way with your greatness. Start looking at your greatness as a goal that you have to accomplish. And if you're just going to work, if you're just being the regular old you and you have nothing special going on in your life, then you might have to search for what that real purpose is. It's not your purpose to just go to work and clock in 9 to 5 to make somebody else rich. Think about it. You're serving their purpose, right? They're in their purpose because they own the company that has you going to work, punching in and making them rich, right? You work between 8 and 12 hours a day, work your fingers to the bone. You can barely stand up after work because you're working so darn hard, and they were at home the whole day. They didn't make a phone call or anything. They got somebody else running the company. You get what I'm saying? They went to the golf course today. You mad about it? I want you to get mad about it. I want you to know what they're doing. They got a massage this morning. They took their wife to lunch. You get what I'm saying? They jumped on a plane and went to Miami, just spurred a moment while you were working in the field. Yeah, that puts a different perspective on it, doesn't it? But you have a purpose as well. Once again, I don't want you to just up and quit because you're paying your bills and you're taking care of your family, but start doing those things on the side that's going to get you to the next level in the next stage of life. Let me give you an example. Let's say you're going to work. Let's say you are a UPS man. No, UPS is probably not a good example. Like a plant worker. Let's say you work in a plant. Plants are notoriously hard on the body. People that work in plants, they work hard. If you're watching me right now and you work in a plant, you're nodding your head like, yeah, it's hard as heck. I was a cable guy, so I worked outside, and I was, we were considered utility workers. So, utility workers is hard work. It's harder than you think it is. It's very physical. You have to work in the elements all year round. -20. Yeah, -20. Sometimes you can call off in -20, but your boy used to work in -20 or 120. We working. And that takes its toll after a while. I still have friends doing it right now. They'll tell you, yeah, they go through it physically. So if you got that going on physically, that does not mean that's your purpose, even though you're paying your bills and taking care of your family. What's your purpose? Let's say your purpose is to talk to thousands, hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of people to motivate them. What you want to do, you want to start building that. Even if you're going to work every day, find an hour a day and just work on giving that message to the people. Let's say your purpose is something like being a youth pastor, right? Maybe that's your real calling. Then you want to get in there, carve time out for yourself to do that. Start volunteering, start doing things in life. I'm going to present a theory to you. It's called the compound effect. And it was a book written by Darren Hardy. Now, I'm not going to give you the full theory and tell you this and that. I'm going to give you the simple, stripped down version, something you can start doing today. What you want to do. The theory states that when your life becomes mundane, that like we talked about, or monotonous, and you want something to happen, what you want to do, you want to start accomplishing very small, seemingly insignificant things, and you want to keep doing them and keep doing them and keep doing them, and you keep putting time to them, and eventually something big will happen. That's the theory. And I believe the theory because it worked for me. If you do these little small things and you keep going, it builds up. What happens if I had a situation where I had a pot. Let's say I had a pot and I kept pouring water in that pot. I put a lid on it. I turn the fire up and there's a little hole at the top to add more water. And I keep adding water, but it's still boiling. The pot has a top. I keep adding water. Now the pot is full, but it's still boiling. And I add more water and I keep adding water even though it was full. What's going to happen? Common sense, right? Even though the water's boiling and some is going to evaporate, but it's not evaporating fast enough to take care of the water that's coming in. So eventually, water's just going to gush out and the top might even blow off depending on how much pressure is inside of that pot. What's the point? Because you're saying that makes no sense. It will in a second. The reason why that makes sense is because when you do those little menial tasks and you keep doing them over and over and over again, it seems like you're not going anywhere. But what you're doing, you're perfecting it. You're perfecting your craft. And eventually when stuff blows up, it's just going to boom, right? Picture yourself just putting pressure and more pressure and more pressure. You put enough pressure on a pipe, what happens? Pressure bursts pipes. You've heard that before. And it's the same thing in your life. If you put enough pressure on the universe to make something happen for you, eventually you're going to break through to that other side. And if you do it long enough, and if you do it steady enough, and you do it fly enough, you're going to make that top blow off, and you're going to make it to where you're supposed to be. Now, where you're supposed to be might be a little bit different from what you envision, but where you're supposed to be is the place that you're supposed to be. This is your man, Terrion Wilson. I hope you got my message. I hope you get the message. I hope you copy the message, and I hope you act on the message. I'm out of here. Peace. The compound effect. Let it compound. Go get it.